to everyone. We call the board meeting of the Wellington City School Board of Education to order now. Thank you so much for your presence here tonight. At this time, we're going to ask if we could read together our mission statement that will be posted for us to view and read together. All right, if we could read together.
The mission of Wellington City School District is to create and maintain a highly effective education system in which every student receives the highest quality education. School employees and parents work together to prepare students to become caring, competent, and responsible citizens who value education as a lifelong process.
Thank you so much. At this time, we will turn this portion of the meeting over to our interim superintendent, Ms. Karen Dameron. We have election of board officers. Ms. Dameron.
At this time, the floor is open for nominations for board chair.
I nominate James Tank Williams as chair.
Second. Any other nominations?
Nominate
If there are no nominations, could I get a motion to close the nominations on the said two names? So the two names that will have been put before you this evening as, oh, I'm sorry, and a second. All right, so the names have been, right, and we vote on close, so I get a vote on closing the nominations on the said two names. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. All right, is it a hand vote? How is it?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. All right, the two names that have been put before you are Reverend O.D. Sykes and Mr. Williams. So Ray, all those in favor of Mr. Williams, let it known by raising your right hand. And all those in favor of Mr. Reverend O.D. Sykes, raise your hand. What's his name? Jenkins and Ms. Harrison. Mhm. And you got the votes for Reverend Sykes recorded. People that voted. Mhm. People know if you have recorded who the votes were for each name. Okay.
Thank you, board members, for this opportunity. It's not a right, but it is an opportunity. It's a privilege to serve as the chairperson for our Board of Education. At this time, we will open the floor for nomination for vice chair of Wellington City School Board of Education. Floor is open.
I nominate Tanya Bird Robinson.
Nominee.
I would let the nominations be closed on the 1 second.
That's it. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been moved by Ms. K.A. Robinson and seconded by Ms. Hale. Close nomination on the one said name. All in favor of that motion, let it be known. How you vote, sign aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? Ayes have it, so ordered. So. Vote now. Yeah, I was going to do. We're asking that you would cast your vote for Ms. Tanya Bird Robinson. All in favor? Let me know by the raising of your hand. All right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those opposed, raise your hand. 1. Ms. Jenkins, how do you vote? Are you yes, no? I said, how you vote? Are you yes, no? Are you voting for Ms. Bird Robinson or are you voting no?
I don't want to go. I oppose.
Say again, I didn't hear you. You said what?
I oppose.
You oppose?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I oppose.
so that's 5 in favor and 2 against. Let the record reflect. Thank you so much. All right. At this time, we ask that you would give your attention to Ms. Tiffany Hale to give us our thought for the evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I have been charged with sharing the thought for the evening tonight. There's a quote that Carl Bard shared, and it goes like this: although no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. I would like to say tonight to the entire Wellington City School District that although we cannot go back and make a brand new start, we can start from now and make a brand new ending for Wellington City Schools. We have almost completed 1/2 of our school year. Let's pull together and make a spectacular Charger ending. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hale, for the thought for the evening. At this time, fellow board members, I would ask that you would review your agendas that you have in front of you. See if there's any additions or deletions that we need to make to our agenda for tonight's meeting. 2 things I would ask that we would remove tonight under 11, 11A and B. And at the end, that we would add a closed session to our agenda. Attorney Malone, will we make that item 14? Or? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Can that take the place of 11A since we took that? Can we make that 11A? And we will make 11C what it is currently now, we'll make that 11B. Okay, so let's switch them, closed session 13 and 14. All right. Thank you so much. Is there anything else? All right, hearing nothing else, a motion would be in order to approve our agenda as it has been amended.
Agenda. Added item. Second.
Okay. All right. Motion has been moved and properly seconded that we would approve our agenda tonight as it has been amended, making 11A signatures, check signatures, or signatures on checks rather, and making 11C, 11B, adding 13 to be a closed session, and 14 adjournment. You've heard that motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of that motion, would you let it be known by your voting sign of aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed to that motion, your voting sign of nay? Ayes have it. Let the record reflect unanimous approval of our agenda as it has been amended for tonight. All right. At this time, we will entertain a motion to approve the minutes that were sent to us from our November 18, 2021 meeting.
Correct.
All right. Entertain them at this time.
Under number 5, reports.
Okay.
Under B, report from the board chair. Under the last paragraph. Second from the last paragraph. It should be athletic director James Moore and head coach Stephen Burger.
Okay. That was the athletics portion.
Yes. Under letter E, instructional report. Under F, school health and face covering. Paragraph 2 and paragraph 4, it should be student in front of nurses. We're just talking about the student nurses coming from the house that's being called. So it should be student nurses in both places.
Okay.
Under number 10, for information only, that motion that was made and seconded, it was made by Mrs. Tanya Burr Robinson to accept the resignation agreement. It was not during closed session, it was in open session, so it needs to come from under action from closed session.
Okay.
Open session.
Okay.
Well, that particular one, I think that's how we should. The items that we got before the session. That is the agenda item.
That was the only one we had from personnel?
No, that was a separate item.
That was a separate item.
way it appears what it says on the agenda is a preschool page of items, which is agenda item. And then under that item, you will have the regular personnel.
It's not listed like that. On the minutes. Personnel report's not listed at all.
Other than that, so the board is going to ask the clerk to make the changes and table it approval from our next time to resubmit. All right.
We're gonna do this with the corrections.
Right, but you won't really see, I mean, you're kind of, there's a lot of things that made, not the normal things.
That's just, I guess what you're saying, so everybody can view them again.
See you,
Right,
make sure they're right.
right. Board members, are y'all all right with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what, that, Ms. Jenkins and Ms. Harrison, they just said yes. I'm asking everybody, I'm listening, everybody okay with that? Okay, so we'll just, get those minutes in our January meeting, and we'll approve, November and December and January. All right. Thank you. All right, at this time, we'll go into our reports, and as we prepare to go into our reports, let me say to Ms. Dameron that we are happy that she is here with us and aiding us and assisting us during this time in Wellington City Schools, and we appreciate the job that you have already started doing with us, and we will ask if we will give our attention to Ms. Dameron at this time to share her report.
Board Chair, Reverend Sykes, Vice Chair, Ms. Tanya Bird Robinson, other board members, central office staff, parents, students, and community, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Karen Dameron, and I am serving as your interim superintendent and HR director. I would like to publicly thank the Wellington City Board of Education, Wellington City Schools Board of Education, for their confidence in me to provide leadership and guidance for the school system. I am a 37+ year veteran, and all of my experience has been in Eastern North Carolina. And I am a strong supporter and advocate of students, student success, and student performance. I know I have lived here all my life so that I know the story, and I live the story of students from Eastern North Carolina. I have worked in several school systems in Eastern North Carolina, so I bring a wealth of experience with me. One of my major areas of focus is going to be student achievement. I believe the students in Weldon are just as capable as students from across the state. With the right support provided, they can and will be successful. One saying I've lived by is failure is not an option. So on my watch, I will not allow students to fail. That would be one of the great expectations I will have of teachers, of principals, and the support staff that will be supporting those schools and being successful. If students, schools, and homes work together, children can and will succeed. We all have a role, and my job as interim superintendent is to ensure that everybody is accountable for the role that they've been charged to do. Even students have a role. There's a saying, we can take a horse to the water, but we can't make them drink. I want as many people drinking the water of knowledge and learning that I can possibly get in Weldon City Schools. Students, you have heard frequently that you need to read 20 minutes a day. Well, starting in January, we want to create a little competition around this notion of reading 20 minutes a day. So please stay tuned. There will be great incentives in place. There will be challenges for each one of the schools, one school against another. We want to inspire and motivate you to become excellent readers in Weldon City Schools. I welcome your phone calls. I welcome your visits. I welcome your emails, text messages. However you feel like you need to talk with me, please know that I am approachable and I will listen. I am solution oriented. So when we come to a fork in the road and there is a problem, I want you to work with me to find the solution. I want us to be proactive so that before problems arise, we want to be already having things in place that will prevent a lot of the issues that we think our students may face. So please don't feel that I'm a superintendent or an HR person that you can't get to. Everybody knows where the district office is located. I would say just don't come look for me at 8 o'clock. Other than that, I can be found and can be reached. And I look forward to, and I am enjoying so far, the work that I'm expected to do here in Weldon City Schools. And I thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Dameron, for sharing with us tonight. Let me begin by wishing each one of you that have celebrated a birthday or will celebrate a birthday in the month of December a very happy birthday. Thank you for your continued service here in Weldon City Schools, and we want to say that to all of our students, our staff members, and our parents and community stakeholders. Thank you so very, very much. Also, let me thank Ms. Dameron again for sharing and helping us, aiding us during this time in Weldon City Schools. As we prepare to leave school next week for the holiday season, we want all of our students, parents, stakeholders, staff, all of us to be very, very careful, to be very diligent during the time that school will be out for Christmas and for the new year. We want you to remain healthy and happy, and we want you to be back here with us when 2022 comes in. We're looking forward to great and wonderful things that will take place in our school district in 2022. And we want you to be here to share and to celebrate those successes with us. Again, thank each one of you. Have a happy, a safe, and a healthy Christmas season and a prosperous new year. Thank you so much. All right, at this time, we will move forward with our reports. Letter C. Under 6C is where we are now. Each time there is a vacancy, the 3 school districts within Halifax County, Weldon City Schools, Halifax County Schools, and Roanoke Rapids City Schools has the opportunity. It is on a rotating basis to actually nominate an individual for the Halifax County Board of Trustees. It was recently vacated by Mr. John Smith, and it was Roanoke Rapids City Schools' turn to actually nominate the person that would be taking that seat. All 3 school districts have to agree on this person. And so Roanoke Rapids City Schools was the nominating school district this time. So They have submitted to us Mr. Joseph Johnston for consideration to be approved by us. Discussion at this time by board members. Any discussion? I will say that Roanoke Rapids City Schools, because it is their turn to nominate, it does not mean that the person, from my understanding, automatically gets the seat because of one school district having the opportunity to nominate. So it does not mean that Weldon has to approve this or does not, well, has to approve or not have to approve. We just have a say in the matter of who actually takes this seat. This is different than the person that actually represents Weldon City Schools Board of Education. We directly make that appointment. But this is the seat where the 3 school districts share in the appointing of this particular trustee. So board members, how do you all feel? All right with this name, or do you want to tell Roanoke Rapids City Schools to nominate another name, or how y'all want to proceed?
I'm good with the name.
Okay,
Second.
is that a motion? Are you motioning that, or you just said you would do it with it?
I just said, I didn't know you did a motion.
Oh, do we have any further discussion?
Receive another name as well.
I know that there was a person of interest that was submitted to us as well, that was sent by the community college to our board. But again, we didn't have the authority to actually nominate a person because it wasn't our turn. Weldon City Schools in rotation. But again, we do have a say in the matter, so we can approve or not approve. That's totally up to this board. So, Kay Robinson, you mentioned that we received another, and I know we did, all of us received that information. So what do you all? Mr. Williams said he was all right.
I'm okay with it also.
Say again?
I'm okay with it.
Okay. All right,
Yes, I'm fine with Mr. Johnson.
all right. All right, if there's no further discussion, then a motion will be in order unless y'all are saying the other name, you want them to think about the other name. I don't know. But a motion is in order one way or the other.
Motion that we approve Mr. Joseph Johnson as the representative for Halifax Community College Board of Trustees.
Second.
All right, it has been motioned and properly second to approve said name for the Halifax County Board of Trustees. You heard that motion. Is there any unreadiness or any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, would you let it be known by your voting sign of aye? Any opposed, nay?
No.
Nay. Did I hear it done? All right, let the record reflect that motion passes 5-2. Thank you so much. All right, we'll move forward at this time. Number 7 on our agenda with EC Educator of Excellence, Ms. Dagnan. Okay, all right, she's coming.
Good evening, everyone. Reverend Sykes,
Evening.
Vice Chair Ms. Tanya Bird Robinson, and members of the school board, colleagues, families, friends, and students. I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize Mr. Corey Odom as the recipient of the Educator of Excellence Award. Mr. Odom has been chosen to represent Wellington City Schools during the 70th conference at the Exceptional Children's Program at Greensboro on November 18, 2021. However, Mr. Odom is not going to be here tonight. He is a little under the weather, but I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate him and for all the good things that he has done for Wellington City Schools. So again, congratulations, Mr. Odom.
Thank you, Mr. Agnelli. All right, moving forward. Coach Hawkins, Mr. Hawkins. All of the coaches. Okay, all right, middle school football team and the coaches, if you all come forward. That's Coach Hawkins here. All right, they're coming.
I like that.
Good evening.
Good evening.
This is your regular season co-champion right here.
All right.
All clear. Coach Jones and Ernest. I'm gonna call the players out. I'm gonna call the 7th graders. Allowed to skip where?
Y'all come up as he calls your name. So we
Timothy
can
White.
recognize you.
Andre Williams. Xavier Williams. In 8th grade, we have DeVito Austin. We have Donald Burgess. Marion Edwards. Shamir Garris. Jaden Gregory. Edward Hawkins. Deshaun Jackson. McKinley Person. Myers Person. Christian Robinson. James Scott. Gavin Sutton. Javier Taylor. Kayshawn Taylor. Zachary and Zachariah Terry. Antoine White. Marquise Whitmore. And Lati Yelladay. This is your regular season champion right here. We can't keep saying champion without our feeder program. We got to have feeder program, but we can't keep forwarding to pay the school $217 per game. Thank you.
Okay.
They look nice. They do thumbs up.
Yes, I like it.
It's nice.
Get everybody look right here, okay? One, two.
Thank you.
As they were calling the names, we did give them a round of applause, but I think we can do better than that and give all together a round of applause. Thank our coaches and certainly thank our student athletes for the job that you did during this season. We really, really appreciate you and thank you for representing Wellington City Schools with excellence on the athletic field. Thank you so much.
Well, I just have to say, they were dressed real well. Champions, and tonight they dressed as champions.
Right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we'll move on to C, Weldon Middle School FBLA Triangle East Regional Competition, and that's Miss Robin Davis. Oh, okay, all right.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I have the honor in recognizing 3 Weldon STEM Middle School students who have placed in the Triangle East FBLA Regionals on Saturday, December 11, 2021 at Wakefield High School in Raleigh, North Carolina. 3 8th graders, 1 Samara Jones and James Scott, which were the first. All right, Samara Jones and James Scott placed first place in a t-shirt competition.
All right.
Next, we have Christian Robertson. Christian Robertson placed second place in the elevator speech. Our students automatically advanced to our state competition, which will be in March 2022. Weldon STEM Middle School FBLA is under the leadership of myself, Kevin Jones, and Robin Davis. Thank you.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Congratulations again to our students for representing us
Yes.
at Weldon City Schools. Thank you so very, very much. All right, at this time, we will go to number 8, which is our public forum. This time for public comments has been established. Citizens who desire to address the board and who register prior to the start of the meeting. The board has established a 3-minute time limit for individuals' comments to be made and considered by the board. If a response is necessary, the board will respond within 10 working days.
Aside, before they start, individuals that want to exit, do they have time to exit now?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
allow them time to exit?
Okay, sure. We would hope that all would stay for the duration of our board meeting, but if we need to give a moment for individuals that have to leave, we will give way for you to do that at this time.
On the agenda.
Right.
Hey, there's somebody in there. This ain't to be recognition to the teacher of the month.
All right. Thank you so much. And again, it is our desire that all of our students and staff and community stakeholders would stay for the duration of our meeting. But of course, we do understand if individuals have to excuse themselves. Thank you, Ms. Hale, for mentioning that so we could make that provision. All right. Ms. Dameron, do we have anyone for public comment, public forum tonight?
We do. Gina Brooks.
Brooks, all right, you ready?
Of course I am.
Yeah. All right. Ms. Brooks, she has set the 3-minute time. Let us know when you're ready or whenever you want to begin.
Eddie, good evening. This will probably be a 2 or 3 session public forum for me. He has shrewd thee, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with the God. That's what Dr. Martin Luther King still would like for us to do. And above all, to walk humbly. Wow. This week, Weldon has really experienced things. On Monday night, Mr. Hugh Crater became the mayor of Weldon after being the board chair of the Weldon City Schools. And tonight, we have Miss Karen Dameron, someone that I've known for over 38 years. Miss Dameron, welcome to Weldon. You see, Miss Dameron I know as a Martin County acquaintance for over 38 years. In 1997, Dr. Ernest Brooks was the only person in Martin County, the only educator with a doctorate degree. Yet he couldn't stay there, and I couldn't stay with my 6-year degree because my principal did for Karen Dameron when we left. He took her from the classroom where she taught my son to personnel, something that Ernest Brooks couldn't get. And Ernest Brooks said, we can't stay here because I can't walk humbly before God. Now, the Holy Spirit is not because of jealousy, Karen. It's because the Holy Spirit, and there is a Holy Spirit. In this day and time, we're living in perilous times. And people, we need to do what's right. You see, we had to get up and leave Williamston for righteousness' sake. My son had to leave the AG. My husband had to leave. I had to leave. As a family, we had to do what God would have us do, not what man. So, with that being said, I know that Miss Dameron can recite my bio because she knows all about what I've done in Martin County and abroad. Just like Miss Dameron, and I'm not just saying it to be saying, I know I can walk the walk and talk the talk. So Weldon City Schools, when you remember God and when you decide to pray and when you let the Holy Spirit lead you, you will be a better system. You need to ask for forgiveness. You need to really know God. And in this time, as I say, perilous times, see you next month and Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, Ms. Brooks. Comments this evening? Ms. Dameron, do we have any other person for public comment? All right. No other person for public comment. I read the statement earlier for us tonight because we do have and we are required by law to give way for public comment during our board meeting. We cannot intrude on anyone's freedom of speech. And I read that so we would know. So if anybody desires for public comment, the opportunity is yours. All right. Thank you so much. This time we'll be moving right along to number 9 with our reports and presentations. All right, we'll start. Mr. Turner. All right, he's coming at this time. We have 2 things that he's going to share: the HVAC project and our Sycamore Street property.
Good evening, everyone, and happy holidays. First thing, we had our pre-bid yesterday at 9:30 at the high school in the gym. We had 2 people to participate in it, but we actually got more than that, but actually.
Can you hold 1 second, Mr. Turner? Hold 1 second. We'll get that door closed. All right, thank you.
Thank y'all, and good evening again.
Good evening.
Yesterday, we had a pre-bid for the 2 projects we got going for the high school and the elementary. We had 2 participants actually done a walk around, but we still got some that's online, but I can't tell you how many until actually the bid comes back in on January the 13th. So we don't have exactly how many folks actually gonna bid on or exactly how many is actually involved in it right now. But basically, what we got going on that is we won't have any idea what the cost is gonna be until those bids come back in. So and then getting back to the stuff at pre-K. Basically, we don't know what's going on with that project until we get this project back done from what these bids we're bidding on, because we can't use the ESSA grant until it can't be redone until. Can you explain that?
Yeah. Oh, I can't.
In order to use the ESSA funds, you will have to take away, put it back, put it in, the plan has to be resubmitted to DPI more detail.
And basically, we don't really know what the cost is gonna be till the bids come back in for the overall projects we got going on between the heating and all three of both places and the gym. So basically, I want to try to submit to that for us actually trying to use that. But we talked about this morning about going on with far as capital outlays and library funds for those projects over there. But Matilda's going to explain that too, because I don't know what's going on overall for those funds.
I can speak to that, Ms. Campbell, thank you. The projects at the high school, the HVAC projects, that's what's been beaded out. And so according to Mr. Turner, there were 2 people actually at the building today, but he had indicated to me that there were as many as 12 people that were online that were looking. But on January the 15th, whatever the decision is going to be, they should be coming in. You asked us last month to come back with looking at the number that Mr. Turner had given the board was $500,000 that it would cost to renovate the pre-K building. And so we went and met Ms. Campbell, Ms. Austin, and Mr. Turner and I met to look at where were the possible sources of that we might could pull some of that $500,000 from. Mrs. Austin indicated to us that there were no ESSA funds that could be used for that unless we amended the ESSA grant. And what would help us to see if we could even use ESSA was to determine what the use of the building would be. So we do want a little bit more guidance from the board, exactly what you all have in mind for that. Ms. Campbell gave me some numbers, a figure, I think it was $500,000 that we have in lottery funds that we have not used. And it would take an agreement from the commissioners in order for us to use those funds. So again, once we know what the plan, is it going to be a professional development, classrooms involved? The one thing that I did share with the committee when we met was you had indicated that you wanted that to be a place where the board meetings could be held. So other than that, we didn't have any other directions that we could move on about knowing how much the cost. We're not anticipating any other major costs. So the $500,000 that Mr. Turner gave us is the number that we're kind of looking at trying to secure to begin to work on the building.
But I do remember, thank you, Ms. Dameron, and thank you, Mr. Turner. I do remember us, the last meeting we had, we did, and board members, y'all please help me out with this now, to my right and my left. I know we did say the larger part, the auditorium part, if we could turn that into boardroom. But we also did say something about professional development as far as classrooms was concerned. We did mention that, and possibly office space, additional office space for central office if a department needed to be there, that had a number of people. Don't know exactly how many offices could be renovated for that purpose, or don't even know what department. But those were some things that we mentioned in our board meeting, especially the professional development part, with the classrooms and the boardroom and the other caveat, as I said, could be additional office space as far as central office staff is concerned, or if it was a department within the district that needed to be there. So board members, do y'all have anything additional? Okay, and I thought that would basically encompass, multitude of things. I'm just speaking personally, but I know we did say those things in that regard. And if the ESSER needs to be amended so that can be done, board members, what do you all say as far as that is concerned?
Well, if you're gonna use the 500,000 and it's enough there, do we need to tap into any other funding, or because right now what you're saying is 500,000, so I'll take care of it.
The $500,000 is the number that Mr. Turner has brought forth. I think he and the building inspector,
And then what we
based
done,
on the square footage in the building, is saying how much it would cost to renovate that building. So that's kind of the ballpark number that we're looking to kind of get a hold of.
And we're saying that we have
You have that in lottery. I don't know if we want to exhaust that, but you got it in lottery, and that takes the commissioner's approval to use that. And now with these specifics that we have, we can now search a little closer into the ESSER to see if there are things that the ESSER grants will cover under these 4 areas that we've got, since they can be classroom space, particularly, professional development, that might be something we can address. So I'll bring that committee back together and we can kind of look and analyze it a little bit closer. And have something that we can make some decisions on and be able to get some thoughts and work on that in this.
I would like for us, because the lottery funds, I'd much rather us to use that, the lottery funds as a plan B. Like you just said, I wouldn't want us to exhaust that, because where the ESSER is directly at our fingertips, that we can do or amend and make that work without an act of Congress to go through that. So I think we will probably be on track if we could look at ESSER first, and then we know as Ms. Campbell, I guess you don't know the exact amount, but you said it's over 500.
513,000.
Okay, so over 513,000. Okay, that we have in lottery funds. So,
And maybe some capital outlay too.
right, and possibly some capital outlay. So I think we'll have the funding sources.
515,515,500.30.
For what?
Lottery.
Lottery fund, okay, 515,000, okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
also under ESSER two, under the broad funding, we can use the campus facilities to reduce health tax. So I know we have some things going on in that bill that will be a health tax, so that may be the fall under the ESSER two monies that we have.
and that's the part I guess you were talking about, Ms. Dameron, that we
Yes.
would have to amend to
Right,
say,
we need to see what we've got planned and budgeted in ESSER two now, to see if there's some things we want to take out, not do, and then have her amend the plan to be able to do some renovations to this building.
and I'm not holding the 500,000. I know that was just a ballpark number. It may not be 500,000, as Mr. Turner said, depending upon some things that were already done, like this, the roof was good and the HVAC systems were good. So we may be able to get around that, some other things in that respect. So if we could look at that and then have a more definitive answer, a meeting next month, I think that would let us know as a board exactly what we need to do, whether we need to explore the capital outlay or explore the lottery funds, see where we are with the ESSER two. Any other comments on that?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
I know it's well and good to do the ESSER funds for that. But I'm just concerned about using the ESSER funds to give these teachers some support in the classroom. And that's at all 3 schools, all 4 schools. Been talking about it, but nothing has happened. But students have been out almost 2 years. They come back in, they're behind. Some maybe were behind at first. And teachers are working hard left and right. That's central office people working hard left and right. But we need to look at some resources to get people into the classroom to assist these teachers, to provide some academics for these students. We can do all we want with buildings, but it's what's going on in the buildings in the classroom that's going to tell the tale in the end. That's all.
And Mr. Williams, I agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying. We need to do that. I think all of us, we feel the same way, want the same thing. I don't know which line item, but to your point, we certainly need to be looking to offer as much support as we can. I mean, we have these ESSER funds, and we need to use them all the way around. It needs to be a holistic approach with the ESSER funds. And in, I guess, connection with what Mr. Williams just said, Ms. Dameron, as far as the professional development part, would that come out of Esser two?
Yes, right, much of the planning and the professional development that I'm aware of is written into some of the ESSER two funds. I know that looking for Ms. Martin. Oh, there she is. I know that the professional development that we are in cohort 2 with the state, with the letters training, the state is providing the fund source for that. They're paying for the substitutes. The presenters are coming to us. That's coming at no cost to us almost, except there's even money that we can pay stipends if we decide that we're gonna do it on a day that's not a school day, like a Saturday. We can bring teachers in to do that. And I hear you, Mr. Williams, loud and clear. One of the things we've been looking at with Ms. Martin's assistant and the high school principals as well, we're making better use of Ingenuity, and we're putting supports in place, and that's people to particularly help our seniors and ensure that they are going to graduate. So in second semester, we're going to be using Ingenuity, we're going to be using virtual public schools, and I am searching for content, and I'm not going to say teachers, I'm searching for content strong people that can be in these locations that can support our students in math and in biology are one of the 2 areas that we know we're looking for. And we're going to compensate those people well, we think. So I hear you, Mr. Williams. I heard you last month when we talked about providing some assistance because the students are our main focus and we want to do all we can to support them and the teachers.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we did, months ago, approve for us to hire interventionalists to go into the schools for the elementary, the middle, and the high school. That's what we, that was written for.
And if I can speak to that too, Ms. Robinson, we did advertise, we have not been successful in finding that interventionist because that the criteria is just not like the normal tutorer that where we're looking for. We were looking for licensed, certified people with some strong content background. But I think it was some misunderstanding between that and just regular tutors that we were having. And so we've not had a lot of people to apply for those positions. And they've been posted, I got here on August the 23rd, and they've been out there a while.
Is there any way we can tweak those?
Absolutely.
Be more amenable to what we
Absolutely.
have in our community that can apply for that?
Absolutely. I will work with the curriculum people and the principals to see how that position can better serve their buildings.
Any other comment? All right. One last comment, Mr. Turner. You said the bids went out the 15th. That was yesterday. So
Actually, pre-bid, they actually done a walk in and see what the work need to be done. The bid comes out January 13th.
okay.
And we should know what the cost is gonna be, because they should be bringing the bids on the 13th, so we know the actual cost gonna be for those projects.
Is that 13th, Mr. Turner, or 15th?
Well, actually, the 15th for overall, but they're gonna bring everything in on 13th, and we can go through them and see what they actually were.
I guess my point, the train has left the station because it's
Yep.
open there for people to
Yep,
bid.
yes, sir. It
Okay.
most certainly is,
All
yep.
right. Yes.
So, Mr. Turner, I know this is for the high school. What about the elementary? The
Yeah.
cafeteria, there's no.
It's
heating there?
for both projects. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Ms. Harrison, I heard you loud and clear because this is, it looks like it's only saying the high school.
Yeah, that's.
So, yeah,
It's both projects.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you for the
Thank you.
clarity. Any other comments or questions for Mr. Turner?
I'd like to say thank y'all
All right.
very
Thank you,
much.
Mr. Turner.
And thank you for the holidays and thank you for what we got. Appreciate you.
Happy birthday.
And thank you. I'm 29.
All right, we'll move on to number 10. 10A. Stagnallen.
Yes.
Where did she go?
She's over
Oh,
there.
okay. Stagnallen will be coming.
And Mr. Roberts-
And I guess we'll just, when she finishes, Mr. Roberstone, Mr. Miller, well, all three of them will have something to say as relate to school here.
Let Mr. Roberts get started.
Yes, yes, ma'am. So good evening, everyone. Tonight I'm gonna have Mr. Bruce Robisto, the medical director from the Halifax County Health Department, to give us update about the COVID cases in the district.
Thank you. Good evening, all. I appreciate the invitation, the opportunity to share information, and I would like to thank you all for your exceptional leadership through this pandemic, bringing the children into the schools this year after learning all the things we learned last year has been a challenge, but Halifax County has stepped up with Weldon City Schools, the community college, the county schools, and Roanoke Rapids graded schools. The great leadership is greatly appreciated in regard to mask mandating, and I'll be able to explain to you how we're moving along and how the numbers are changing. All righty, so as of the 9th of December, we have report 8,107, but our most recent report is we've added 54 new cases as of today in the last week. We've had 145 deaths total, and which is one is just added this week. We have 7,912 recovered patients. 77 have not yet recovered. We are now at a 5% positivity rate, when just in the last few weeks, we were actually down to 2.4% positive. So our numbers are going back up. The overall trend is going back upward. We were fortunate that with all of the efforts made, that for 3 weeks, we were in the yellow category of the CDC community spread map. We are one of just a handful of counties throughout the state that was able to achieve that goal. We are now into the orange category. We are trending upward, which means we are at a substantial spread at this time. We are one of only 7 counties that is in that low of a level. That's not super low, but it's still below the rest of the state, where the other 93 counties are in the red transmission color, which means a very high transmission rate. So Halifax County continues to do well, although our trend is going back up. 55% of our population that's eligible is partially vaccinated. 51% is fully vaccinated. The trend upward that we're experiencing now was projected, and it's attributed to the fact that it's getting colder. People are gathering more inside and therefore at a higher risk of spreading COVID. The majority, if not all of the positive cases remain the Delta variant. So how is Halifax County doing so well, as is a few other counties? We don't have big super spreader events in this county. We don't have big sports venues. We don't have concerts of any form. We only have one actual super spreader in our county, and that's the school system. And therefore, until we can get to a herd immunity, which is taking a lot of work because people aren't getting vaccinated. Until we can get to a herd immunity, the number one thing we need to be focused on is the spread, mitigating the spread of COVID-19. A lot of people ask, when are we going to get to herd immunity? Well, we have a ways to go. And if everybody wants to get there and get this done, we all need to get vaccinated. It's going to take a large proportion of the population to get vaccinated, fully vaccinated, get boosted for this to get under control. We now have a new variant that is out, Omicron or Omicron, depending how it's pronounced that day of the week. We don't know much about it right now, but we do know it's another variant. And until we get to the point that we have a herd immunity and get this under control, it's going to continue to mutate. We hope to get it to where it's like the flu, where we can work with it a lot easier. We don't have to take all these exceptional steps. I'm sure we are all tired of wearing a mask, but its importance is the only tool that we have to mitigate spread, and the focus needs to be on our super spreaders, which is our school. Yes, when kids go home, they don't wear the mask, and when they go to other small venues like church and things, they may not. However, by us controlling the spread in the school system, it's an effective tool for keeping this under the best control that we can. And the numbers in the last several months reflect how well Halifax County is doing. So I'd like to open to any questions that you may have.
Return to school.
I'm sorry?
Return to school. What are your suggestions for return?
I'm sorry, I'm not here.
Okay. Do you have any suggestions regarding return to school for school system?
For the school system, my suggestion, my recommendation is to continue with the mask mandate as you have been doing. The other school systems are committed to doing that as well. You guys have done a spectacular job. And that's all that's left that we can do right now to mitigate this spread, is to take care of our super spreaders. So that's my strong recommendation, that you continue forward with mandating masks in school. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Robusto. Okay. So at this time, I'd like to call in Mr. Isaac Miller, and he's going to share with us updates as well within our school system.
Good evening, board. As of November 30th, 2021, we've only had 3 positive cases for this month, and they're just 3 within the Wega community, so the elementary school. And lucky for us, they were all from the same household, so we were able to mitigate the spread that way. We haven't had any other positive cases in any other locations thus far. With our COVID-19 testing program, we have a total across the entire district as of today, 124 participants. With the elementary school, we have 59 participants. With the middle school, we have 28. The Wellington STEM High School, 15, and the Central Services, 10.
Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Yes, we have a COVID center, or public care room in each of our schools.
Yes, we have isolation rooms in each 4 of the locations.
So we have updated because 43 as of December 13th, it's going to be total 46 for the students.
Yes, I forgot to mention that I just enrolled 3 other students, 2 with the elementary school and 1 with the middle school as of 2 days ago.
Question?
Thank you. So we move on to the next part of the items. As we review the monthly face covering. So the current policy, as I'm going to read it, all K-12 staff, students, and visitors are required to wear face coverings, face shield / mask at all indoor settings, unless a documented exception exists. The students will receive mask-free breaks during the instructional day in open air spaces with proper physical distancing between students. Individuals visiting any property belonging to Wellington City Schools or attending school events indoors are required to wear a face covering. All unvaccinated student athletes and coaches are required to wear face coverings while indoors unless documentation of vaccination is provided to the coach or athletic director by the parent, guardian, or individual. Vaccinated student athletes and coaches have the option to wear a face covering while indoors. And this will require for the board action either to option 1, continue with our current policy, or option 2, amend our current policy. Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion that we continue with option 1, which is continue our current policy.
Second.
All three of
I think when you say that.
It has been motioned to continue with option 1 and seconded. Was that by Ms. Bird Robinson? Okay, Ms. Bird Robinson, to continue with option 1, you heard the motion. Is there any further discussion or any other readings? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, would you let me know by your voting sign of aye? Those opposed, voting sign of nay? Nay. Ayes have it, let the record reflect. Motion passes 6-1. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Now. Oh, that was the last part.
Yes,
that
that
she
was the
had.
final one
Okay.
she did that for.
All right, okay. Thank you all so much for your presence and sharing information tonight. Right, we'll go on now to letter B, our monthly financials. Mr. Campbell, you ready?
Good evening.
Evening.
Board Chair Reverend Sites, Vice Chair Ms. Bird Robinson, board members, staff and guests. I would like to present to you the monthly financial statements for the month of November 2020-21, beginning with local expense fund, Fund 8. Our beginning revenues was $207,610.02. Total deposit for the month was $66,222.27. Bringing year-to-date total to $273,832.29. Our beginning expenditure is $256,586.75. Total expenditures for the month was $68,929.57. Bringing the year-to-date total to $327,516.32. Giving us a net result for the year as of November 30th, a negative $51,684.03. Bringing our unobligated fund balance to $572,951.37.
Ms. Campbell, you said the year-to-date expenditure, I don't know if my report is wrong or you just said the number. On the report, you said $327,516.32. Is that supposed to be $325?
No, sir, the expenditures is $68,929.57. The year-to-date is $325,516.32.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
What is our red? Why, what is, I mean, has money not come in?
We have some revenues that we have not received, and we got some in this month that will show next month.
Okay.
Some of them have not come in.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Current expense. Beginning revenues is $1,199,151.67. Total deposit for the month was $102,947.85. Bringing year-to-date total to $1,302,099.52. Beginning expenditures is $553,271.64. Total expenditure for the month was $200,783.89. Bringing our year-to-date total to $754,055.53. Bringing our net result as of November 30th to $548,043.99. bringing our unobligated fund balance to $1,939,312.27.
Ms. Campbell, quick question. Under our expenditures, the maintenance and cleaning, was that like some additional supplies?
No, that's a combination of everything, building maintenance,
Okay.
cleaning supplies and everything combined together that's related to maintenance.
Okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Capital outlay. Beginning revenue of $64,170.05. Total deposit for the month is $260,623.61. Bringing year-to-date total to $324,793.66. Beginning expenditures $36,281. Total expenditures for the month was $17,400.15. Bringing year-to-date total to $53,681.15, giving us a net result for the year as of November 30th, $271,112.51, bringing our unobligated fund balance to $801,237.51. Child nutrition. Beginning revenue is $265,982.46. Total deposit for the month was $46,793.69. Bringing year-to-date total to $312,776.15. Beginning expenditures $241,948.83. Total expenditure for the month was $58,898.89. Bringing your year-to-date total to $300,847.72, giving us a net result for the year as of November 30th, $11,928.43, bringing the unobligated fund balance to $287,025.43.
Right, do we have questions?
No.
Any questions? I heard no on this end. Any questions? This end?
No.
All right. Thank you so much.
My amendments.
Oh. Amendments, questions concerning amendment?
Amendment number 7.
Yes, ma'am.
State that 34,672 increase.
That was our summer reading camp funds, where we normally have summer camp for our first through third graders at the elementary school. That this summer we chose to use ESSER funds to cover the summer reading camp across the district, but we will receive those funds for next year's summer reading camp as well. And once the camp was over, you couldn't use it for any other purposes.
So we will get that 34,000.
We'll get same, yes, ma'am. We'll get, it normally ranges between 30-some thousand every year that we get from the state. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's,
So those are the ones that we have to send back.
Yes.
Is that all that we have to send back?
That was state amendment 7. With state amendment 8, it was a increase to the state budget, and it was adjusting the initial allotments to cover the benefit increase that is coming forth in January. And for this month, that is the only one that we have to give funds back. Yes, ma'am. All the other was an increase. Our ESSER 3 was an increase. We received our final allocation, and the other was EC grants that were submitted. They were all approved. But we have not received the funding, but the grants have been approved.
I have a quick question. Rather than using ESSER, which we know that we are not going to have always, and save that to expend it later, why wasn't state funds expended first?
When we were meeting on ESSER, all time sheets that came into me was tied into ESSER. Right now, I can't answer that question why we did not. I believe it was an error on our part. And I take responsibility for that, not forcing to use the summer reading camp funds.
I'm gonna say this, Ms. Campbell, I'm not gonna say it was all you because you weren't in charge of that program. I get, you know, monies and all coming in. I'm not gonna say that. But what I am gonna say is this: with Wellington City Schools being in a tier 1 county and funds are limited as they are, we can't afford to be sending money back. So, you know, whoever it is, in whichever department, we need to utilize all of those funds. Because I kind of hamp on what Mr. Williams said earlier in that respect. That to me, that was an opportunity to use funds to give our children more support, you know, because they're already behind and coming back to school. So our teachers can assist them and they wouldn't be as far behind. And we had to send back $34,672. That's a whole lot of money. And that could have been utilized to help in some other ways. And again, I'm not saying you, I know you're not in that department. You were just making sure that the funds, you know, were channeled through. But all of the departments, as far as that's concerned, I'm just gonna say, we can't afford to send money back like that was given to us. We gotta make sure we use it. We gotta make sure we use it to make sure we provide those resources for our students and our teachers, because I think that would have been a help for our teachers in that respect. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I just, yes, go right ahead.
When we receive grants, and you receive a budget for every grant, and for each line item, or put like that grant for 34,000. If you knew that should go to third grade, and the teachers had given, I know they're supposed to have already given this information to someone, I don't know who their committees that they have for school improvement. That's when they decide these things that they need. So will it help you for different grants that you can see the budget so you'll know where to pull certain monies from?
When the grants come in, my normal process, and I can't admit that I did slip the ball on this one as well. But when the grants come in, normally the person over the grant, the director over grant, key the grant. I work with them. I try to meet with everyone on a monthly basis to discuss where money is. If we receive anything from the state saying that the money was going to revert back, I share that information. We did not receive anything from the state reminding us that these monies was going to revert back. And I did make a contact with someone in allotments at DPI to find out why no notification would come. And normally it would come in our weekly finance emails. And I did ask her that question, and she did admit to me that it did not come in the email to remind us to use the funds. But I do try, if we get notification that funds are going to revert by a certain time, I do share that information with the individual that's over those grants.
Go ahead, Ms. Nate.
Reverend Sykes, if I can speak to that as well. One of the things that I've asked Ms. Alston, who is our federal programs director, and Ms. Campbell, that we're going to be meeting and we're going to take the grants and actually, so that Ms. Alston does not have to monitor the spending so much, we're going to give the grants and split it up by budget codes and give it to the respective people and departments that should be overseeing it. It's a lot of money. The federal programs have a lot of money. It's coming from various sources. And so that one person doesn't have to watch over that camp themselves, whether it's curriculum, whether it's technology, whether it's HR, because some of our grants have got people. I need the grants to be put with the people that will be over the spending. And then if we met regularly, we would know who's got what and how much, and it would just be sitting in one person's shop to have to monitor for themselves. So I think that'll be helpful for us.
That would be very helpful.
Are you saying that the directors don't have a copy of, or they don't have what grant?
They know.
They're not like in charge of their grant.
They know that a grant, let's take ESSER, they know that they have been written into ESSER, but they don't have the budget sheets that kind of spell out how you need to spend that. They are having to go to the respective grant, and this also just happened to have all the federal grants and CCIP. So they've got to go back to where that CCIP and make sure that what we put in this grant, they've got those funds. What I'm proposing is in CCIP, for example, I have the Title II, 103. So I know what was written in the grant because it was written before I got here, beginning teacher support, mentors, those kinds of things. And I've got budget codes. So as I'm spending my monies from those various line items, then Ms. Austin doesn't have to keep watching that. I'm responsible. But if I'm calling that the leadership team, if we come in our meetings once a month or once a week and say, let's kind of monitor where things are, we're looking for those memos that may be coming in finance, that would be a chance of not something slipping by us or that we need to be spending.
And one of the things, Ms. Denver, we did face towards the end of last year when we had an administrator to leave, some of her duties was dispersed up for like 2 to 3 people. And we found out one of those individuals was over that. When I met with someone else, we found out we think those emails was going to that individual. So
we just gotta get us a process, and we've already talked about it on how we can better monitor our spendings, particularly the second half of the year when we know it's critical and crunch time for academic progress.
I want to speak to what you just said, Ms. Campbell, because and Ms. Damon, I think that's something that needs to be checked into, because as Ms. Campbell just said, if it was a former employee that was no longer working here, when that employee's last day came, their email was supposed to be deactivated. So, nothing wouldn't have been going there, which could have, eradicated or put up a red flag, when it kicked back to where it was email from, to contact somebody at central office to say, look, the email bounced back, who do we need to see? But if their email was still active, and then as Ms. Campbell said, if emails were going there, it wasn't going to the proper person, well, the person that was over it wasn't getting the information. So I think we need to make sure that, when employees are no longer here with us, when their last day come, I mean, the next day, their email accounts need to be inactivated, so we won't have that kind of problem. Because that could have been something that, would have been a red flag, like I said, from the sender to actually communicate with central office. Okay. Any other question on the budget?
Yes, sir. I don't have a question, but I just like to say, Ms. Campbell, with your loss that you experienced unexpected, I think it saves a lot of you to come out here tonight when you could have been with your family, where I probably would have been with my family. But I think pride, the work ethic, and still come out here to see that you report to the board. I really appreciate it. And if there's anything I can do, just let me know. Thank you so much.
thank you.
I concur.
And with that being said, Ms. Campbell, all of us, as I said to you today, in central office, we were certainly saddened to hear what your family is going through, and please know that you are in all of our prayers. Not only you, but your entire family. As I said to you earlier today, that's that back-to-back thing like that's it's tough in itself, but a repeat like this soon. So as Mr. Williams has said, and as everybody kind of basically coincided and said as well. Please know you sharing information with us. It is very much appreciated, very much appreciated.
Thank you. I need a
We need a
motion on.
motion for the amendments.
Motion amendments.
Second.
Motion approved. Okay, it has been motioned and seconded to approve the amendments that have been presented to us tonight. You heard that motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of that motion, would you let it be known by your voting sign of aye? Aye. Any opposed is nay? Ayes have it. Let the record reflect unanimous approval. Thank you, Ms. Campbell.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell.
All right. Moving on to C, Ingenuity.
Good evening, Board Chair, Vice Chair,
Evening.
board members, and interim superintendent, colleagues, community members, and families. I will present to you the Ingenuity Teacher of Record and On-Demand Support proposal. So as Ms. Dameron noted, we are being creative and innovative to provide quality instruction to our seniors at the high school. One of the ways that we are going to do that is NCVPS, and another way is Ingenuity Instructional Support. So we already have the courseware from Ingenuity. However, this platform will actually provide a teacher of record as well as on-demand support. So students who are enrolled in Ingenuity would be able to call up until, I believe, 11 p.m. at night, because we do know that Ingenuity is self-paced. So the students, if they have, let's say, 4 classes already in the block schedule, and then they are earning an additional credit through Ingenuity, they will be able to get that support. With this platform comes an additional cost, and that cost is $450 per student. Currently, we do not have, we have NCVPS for our students. So we will have 19 students enrolled in biology, and we will have our earth science teacher at the high school being the facilitator. And then we have 30 students in Math 3. We have some OCS slots and some Math 2 and Math 4 slots. So this is a platform that we would like to utilize for our seniors. And we have maybe 5 seniors who could benefit from this additional support from Ingenuity. Are there any questions?
Any questions?
If I could just acknowledge Ms. Peel in the room tonight. She has been vital in locating and reviewing the transcripts of those seniors to ensure that they have the courses that they need, and they're registering for those courses, or they've got them registered. Matter of fact, I think Ms. Peel and Ms. McGee, I don't know if she's in here, they registered the students, the seniors first, to ensure that Ms. Martin, and that's to ensure that they got what they need. So I just want to put that publicly out there to let the parents know that we're doing everything we can to ensure, particularly now that our seniors will have an opportunity to graduate in May. And Ms. Peel came to see me today, and she's already starting with the juniors and the sophomores to begin to see that they're registered for their appropriate classes as well. So I just want to acknowledge her and thank her for the hard work.
Thank you, Ms. Peel.
Motion for the $2,350.
Yes.
Yes.
Any further questions?
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept the Ingenuity proposal for our students in the amount of $2,350 to pay for Ingenuity.
Motion has been moved and properly second that we accept the approve the funds for the Ingenuity Teacher of Record on-demand support. You heard that motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of that motion, would you let it be known by your voting sign of aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposals to that motion, your voting sign of nay? Ayes have it. Let the record reflect unanimous approval. All right. Moving on to E, instructional report.
Excuse me, Ms. Dameron, what about NCDPS? I don't see that on the.
I didn't, if you send it in this, it should have been in Preschool Public School document. And it's got some funds tied to it that Ms. Martin would have sent in.
I sent 2 one-pagers that were in separate documents.
And it needs some money, that's why we're asking for the need one person. Chair, Sykes, there was one other item that was gonna require your vote tonight, and that was for the additional slots for virtual public school. It is critical that we get that vote because we want to have this in place for students when they come back on January the 3rd. So if I could ask for some guidance from the board attorney, we don't have it in the packet. Mr. Malone, is that something we can do with a call vote tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a way that they can approve it tonight?
They don't have it to see it.
What do they, what
Do
is
you-
it?
Okay.
So-
Document. I can go make copies.
Board, are you all right with it being read to us tonight?
So we talked about the Ingenuity on demand and teacher of record, but we also have NCVPS, and that is at a cost of $349 per student. And we have a total of 75 slots that we've reserved that we will need payment for. So, okay, so what we actually did is we reserved more than 75 initially because we had an individual who can take care of Math 1 for us now. But initially, we had those Math 1 students slated to take NCVPS. But when, someone was able to come in and do that, we only had 9 Math 2 slots and 11 Math 4 slots. So on this document, we were actually asking for approval for more than we're actually going to need.
And if I could just say,
No, we'll need 75.
Schools that are there, they're gonna need some.
Right, because this one is based on the 83.
So we do need the 75. I thought you said we did not.
No, I said we reserved 83, but we only need the 75 because we have less students there. And I can give you the breakdown for the 75.
Can you send it electronically?
Yes.
And I don't want Ms. Martin to give up any of the slots just yet. I reviewed some of the testing scores from first semester from the early college today. And so we may have some children that may be doing Ingenuity or BPS or something. Because the scores didn't look that great from Math 1, so we're gonna have some other options probably.
And this was at the urban college.
Yes, ma'am.
So the 75 dollars that would cover you.
Yeah, and I know we targeted the high school.
Yes.
No. No, I think that 80.
No, so we requested 83,
Mhm.
but basically we have 75, but what Ms. Darren is saying is we don't want to, say 75, then we might want to add some more students.
Correct.
So the 83.
Yes.
I believe so.
Yes.
And I just forwarded an email if you all can access it.
You don't have a total amount, Ms. Martin?
Yes, well, for 83, I did.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so for 83, it would be $28,967 for 83 slots.
And any slots that we do not use, they will refund us.
Yes, so we do have to send a payment, but if we don't use the slots, then they'll reimburse us in the spring.
28,000. Yes. It's coming from Esther?
Okay.
Yes. 28,960.
Oh, 28,967.
967.
Yes.
Even?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I move we appropriate the $28,967 for the North Carolina BPS program for our high school students.
Motion has been moved and properly second. So I don't have to repeat that with everything that they just motioned and seconded to. You heard that motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of that motion, would you let it be known by your voting sign of aye? Aye. Any opposals, nay? Ayes have it. Let the record reflect unanimous approval of the 6 board members that are present for voting at this time. Ms. Hale stepped out briefly.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, yes, okay.
Okay, so these are some pictures from our interviews, December 2nd and December 3rd at Roanoke Valley Early College, as well as Weldon STEM High School Career Academies. And the Roanoke Valley Chamber of Commerce conducted these interviews. Testing and accountability, we had fall EOCs only at our vet, and it was for Math 1 and Math 3. Upcoming, we do have our Read to Achieve middle of year benchmarks, and that window opens January 4th, which is the first day back for students in the spring semester. Upcoming PD, we are part of cohort 2 for letters. So on January 3rd, we will have our kickoff for pre-K teachers, all K through 5 teachers, instructional coaches and administrators, as well as our EC resource teachers. The other staff members will participate in school-based PD that will be effective small groups. That is going to be conducted by East Carolina University for the TAs and other support staff at the elementary school. And then we have one for Ingenuity functionality, and that will be for middle school, high school, and RVET. Virtual Academy, this is just an update on our numbers on virtual learners by school: elementary 7, middle school 7, RVET 2, and the high school 7.
So updates from the Asia Department Preschool and Student Services. So our preschool pyramid model project, it's on its 5th year of implementation. So what it is, it's a program that supports our pre-K teachers with professional development that teaches them with evidence-based practices to help out with supporting the social emotional needs of the pre-K students. And currently we have 2 coaches at the elementary school for pre-K. Like Ms. Campbell has stated early on, our EC grants have been approved, and this is the funding that supports our exceptional children's programming. And also we have submitted our federal reporting for December 1 headcount. And that is all for our department. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. With all respect, board chair, board vice chair, board members, superintendent, and the community. We have been awarded from the federal programs, $20,000 from the American Rescue Plan for the education of our homeless children in the district. Currently, we have about 47 homeless children that are in our district, and homeless classifies as students that are doubled up, living in motels, unsheltered, or we have some unaccompanied youth due to different circumstances. Happy to say this year our comparability report is complete and our high schools are comparable. So last year we were not, so I want to make sure that everybody know that we are, because we could only be non-compliance for 1 year. So we are to compliance this year. So this is the time that I think a lot have been waiting for, is for the great news of recognizing our students of the month. We have students that are here tonight, so we're excited that they are here to receive this recognition. So when I call their names, if they could please come up. And one is probably wondering, why are we here? So it's a surprise to Miss Jasmine Smith. You're a student of the month. She comes representing Wellington Elementary School. She's began as a virtual student this school year, and she attends classes daily and submit her work on time or before the due date. She advocates for herself when she does not understand lessons being taught. She takes education into her own hands. During a difficult time in her family, she continued to attend scheduled classes and submit work on time. She's even joined in on live instructions while having dinner out with her family. And she's a strong leader within this classroom. She's very respectful student and classmate to others. Please continue to keep up the great work that you have been doing. So congratulations, Jasmine. For the 7th grade, we have Natavia Wood from Wellington Middle School. Mr. He's not with us this evening, but when you see him, please let him know that he was recognized here tonight by the middle school as the epitome of a stellar STEM scholar. I apologize. Thank you. She is a well-rounded student who takes her academic performance seriously. She strives and succeeds in meeting daily expectations, and she constantly models the tenets and qualities of Wellington STEM Middle School. Her 7th grade teachers expressed that she's a joy to teach and an exemplary student in the classroom. So way to go, Natavia. Keep up the outstanding work that you do. We also have Miss Akira Gray. Miss Gray is here representing Roanoke Valley Early College for doing an outstanding job as a student athlete. Her priorities are right in the right order. Student first, athlete second. She is well-mannered and helpful in all her classes. Let's give her another hand. We also have Student of the Month from Wellington STEM High School, Amante Parker. Amante is a senior at Wellington STEM High School. So when you see Amante, please be sure to let them know that they were recognized here at Wellington City Schools.
Amante is a hardworking and respectful student in the classroom, hallways, and on the football team. He has maintained good grades while participating in sports. He attends regularly and punctual. He never complains about COVID. He continues to do his best with the resources the school had to offer. During free college application week, he completed many free applications and he did not complain because he did not have a school counselor or school advisor. He took an initiative and got them done. He was the first senior to get acceptance letters from 4 different colleges. Did y'all hear me say 4 different colleges? So he has completed all of the necessary requirements to be admitted to college next fall. He has been a very dedicated student and he is an extremely disciplined student. So please, when you see Mr. Parker, let him know how proud we are of him here at Wellington City Schools. If I could ask our board member, select board member and superintendent to come forward for a photo op as well as presenting our students with their plaques. And along with their plaques, we want to make sure that the students know we have also a dinner and a movie. So our interim superintendent and board chair is giving them their plaques along with their dinner and movie. Thanks to Chick-fil-A, our local Roanoke Rapids Chick-fil-A, as well as our Roanoke Rapids Cinema for presenting students. Also, our dedicated maintenance staff will be delivering signs to their homes to put in their yards so that our community will know that your child is the student of the month.
I was asked to do this a great honor for me, but this is an even greater honor for this.
Congratulations again. So next, we would like to take the time to recognize that's here with. Let me hit the button. So next, we would like to take the time. I think we have our Employee of the Month next. Yeah, no, Parent of the Month. Parent of the Month, great. So this Parent of the Month was submitted by Wellington High School this month and selected again through the panel that we have that look over all of the submissions. And it's been a pleasure because I've had the opportunity to work very closely with this parent. Mr. Noah Davis Sr., will you please come forward? Mr. Davis was really surprised to get this information. So I'm excited to read to him because he was like, well, what did I do? He kept calling me, like asking me those questions. So Mr. Davis, you are a very involved parent at Wellington High School Career Academies. When asked to join the school improvement team, you did not hesitate. You are always willing to do whatever it takes to improve the quality of education for your children and for the Wellington education community. He makes frequent visits to the school to check on his children's progress and is always giving encouragement to any student in his sight. Mr. Davis is an asset to high school career academies in the Weldon community. So, Mr. Davis, you will have a sign in your yard as well. They're on Washington Avenue to let everybody know. But also you will have a plaque to go up in your home to remind you and your children how your most valuable parent award is presented to you in recognition of the time and effort spent helping your child succeed in school. Weldon City Schools Parent Engagement Program, December 16, 2021. But there are two and only two keys to educational success: hard work and parent involvement.
And Ms. Austin, I add one of the best bus drivers that Weldon City Schools ever had. And every time I run into him at Walmart, I say the same thing. Since he left us.
And I can say, as the parent engagement coordinator, I've never called Mr. Davis and asked for anything that he'll tell me, well, I'm gonna do the best I can, and he's always showing up.
It still stands.
I take all, we take all the and present it, but Mr. Williams, this is his, what I'm gonna say, nephew, and all he in the family.
Okay, our last recognition for this evening will be our Employee of the Month. And our Employee of the Month is Miss, she's watching us virtually because she's dedicated. She had another opportunity that she was taking place online today. But it's Miss Shauna Jeffers, our counselor at Weldon Elementary Global Academy. Shanae. I said Shauna. We here at Weldon Elementary Global Academy acknowledge that Ms. Jeffers is an integral part of the administration team. If you ever look for her, you can find her helping students, assisting in the teacher's class, or teaching students skills to become productive citizens. She's always eager to help. She keeps everyone abreast of proper policies and procedures and assisting students in need. The staff of Weldon Elementary Global Academy appreciate all she does for everyone. The staff, the leadership, and students know that she is just a phone call away. So she will also receive a gift card from the district, her plaque stating Employee of the Month, in recognition of her passion and commitment to Weldon City Schools, and a sign will be placed in her yard as well. So when you see Ms. Jeffers, please congratulate her and thank her for all that she does for the students of Weldon Elementary Global Academy. Thank you.
Moving on to letter F. You, Mr. Turner.
Okay, that's the.
Mr. Turner.
We have submitted the permission. So out of our ESSER funds, one of the things that we had determined that the district was in need of vehicles.
Yes.
As well as Mr. Turner, maintenance vehicles. So we had, and as you may know, cars are on back order. So we had worked on this about 2 months ago, going through the different state approved providers. Nissan is the one that's saying that we can get the vehicles quicker when it comes to the time period of getting the vehicles. And that was gonna still probably be, he said, in the third quarter of next year. Ford was like, they couldn't even give us an estimate. Chevrolet was not actually taking orders at that time. So with that and we've got email correspondence, but having vehicles available. With some of the vendors, they were saying you had to go with a white vehicle. Nissan has let us know we'll even be able to pick the color. They don't charge you for color. This has been very educational to me because they charge you for the actual colors of the cars. We're asking that we can purchase 2 Nissan Altimas and 2 Nissan Titan vehicles off of state contract. The trucks will be assigned to the maintenance department to assist them, and the vehicles will be utilized at the central office and district-wide staff. Anyone needing to go to like workshops and whatever, because at this time we don't have vehicles. One vehicle, we do have one vehicle. We did set aside for a 7-passenger van and a 15-passenger van. We stretched the 15-passenger van due to safety issues. And at this time, when we were asking about the 7-passenger van, Kia was one that has now been discontinued that was offering a 7-passenger van.
Question.
Yes, sir.
You said Nissan Titan. Your
Was it
quote
Titan or
says
Frontier?
Nissan
Frontier.
Frontier.
I'm sorry, we looked at Titans and Frontier, but we're going with the Frontier.
Okay.
Frontier.
Cause I know a Titan is way more expensive than
Oh,
one.
yeah.
And I was gonna say.
We had them, but we did.
Y'all can get a Titan, what y'all need to do is get more than 2 at this price.
Yes, yes, I'm sorry, because I brought all of the quotes back in.
In the Frontier, is that the heavy duty one that can carry the lawnmowers and?
Yeah, 4-wheel drive, they should be able to do.
Yeah, 4x4s.
Okay.
That is smaller than the full-size Titan though, but
Yep.
if it's 4-wheel drive, I hope that'll. Any questions on these?
No, I'm just glad they getting them. They need them.
And I've asked them to look in removing those from the parking lot.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Especially on the front, and whether we figure out how we need to sell them. We're gonna
Yes.
look into that.
All right. Any questions? Motion is in order then.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion has been moved and properly second of the approval of the 4 stated vehicles. You heard that motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of that motion, would you let it be known by voting sign aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Ayes have it, so ordered. Let the record reflect unanimous approval.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to the athletic update, Mr. Lynch, Coach Lynch.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I would like to start by saying congratulations to all the young people that received awards today, the trophies and plaque. That's a very good sign. I don't know if you guys noticed, but every child that received a trophy or plaque today, they were athletes. There's a young lady back here from the elementary school. I don't know if she left, but she's probably gonna be an athlete one day also. She was the only one that's not an athlete right now. So congratulations and way to go, athletes and all the young people. Very good. All right, now I would like to speak briefly about the athletic updates. I would not be using the PowerPoint that's up here this evening. I won't be using PowerPoint at all because there's just a few things that I want to talk about. I would first like to talk about how we are well into our winter sports. I'm starting off with our JV program. They have a record of a 3-1. Our varsity girls have a record of 2-2, and our varsity boys have a record of 1-3. But they all are working extremely hard to make sure by the end of the season that they all have a competitive record. Okay. During the AD meeting today that I attended in Rocky Mount, I found that several of our football players has been selected on the first and second team, some of them honorable mention for the Tyrone Athletic Conference. So way to go, football players. All right. Next, I want to talk about the reconditioning of the gym floors. That's both the high school and middle school. They got started on the floors today, and they should be finished tomorrow. So we should be ready to be right back at it, starting either Monday evening or Tuesday morning. So that was something that needed to be done, you know, because the floor was getting extremely slippery. So thanks to the board, Ms. Dameron, for getting that done, and Ms. Campbell helping us get that done. Next, I'd like to talk about the cooling system for the high school gymnasium. You know, after listening to Mr. Turner today, you know, I learned that we should know by January 13th which contractor will be having installing this new heating and cooling system, you know, which is very, very important. So I would like to say thanks again to the board and Ms. Dameron for attempting to fix this problem. This is an issue that has been decades overdue. So thank y'all, thanks to you so much. Thank you very much for getting that done. Are there any questions for me?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Board members, we do have before us, Coach Lynch presented to us some proposed increases with our coaches last month and the month before last. And we have that before us tonight for the, he did not mention that, but we said we were gonna take a vote tonight. He said that last month. On the $300 increase, $600 increase, or the $800 increase. With that being said, of course, we were handed information and we have received this information. The $300 increase is already built into our budget. And of course, if we did the $600 increase or the $800 increase, it would require us to have a budget amendment to bring the amount up to the amount that we approve. So a motion is in order at this time that we approve one of these said three amounts.
Chair,
Yes, sir.
motion to approve $300, which will still remain within the budget that we allotted at the beginning of the school year.
Motion has been moved and properly second that we would go with the $300 increase for our athletic department for the coaches. You heard that motion that has been seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of that motion, would you let it be known by your voting sign of aye?
Aye.
Any opposals? Nay? OD Sykes, I vote nay as well. And I want to verify my name. Who will carry this motion, that the record reflect it has been approved 5-2. I want to verify my no. My no is not that the coaches not get the 300. My no is they need to get more than the 300. I understand working within budget, and I hope that we can address that when we actually start to budget again. I just wanted to verify my notes, because somebody may get it twisted. That Sykes didn't want the coaches to get nothing. I want the coaches to get more than 300. I support the 300, but I wanted them to receive more. But I respect the majority of the board, and hopefully we can address that in our next budget plan.
Same here. Our coaches are significantly behind other coaches in our area. So my no is because I feel like the 3, the 6, and the 800 still will not put them where our close to our other coaches in our county and neighboring counties.
I certainly feel that they deserve.
All right.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to say that I voted 4,300 because we did discuss that we wanted to, buy new uniforms for all three teams. So that is why. I voted for it.
All right. And with that being said, the coaches did get an increase. And everybody is happy, everybody is comfortable because nobody on this board did not want our coaches within our athletic department to not receive an increase. So we stand unified with that. And as I said, hopefully when we go through our next budget plan, we can look at doing even better if we can do that at that time. Thank you.
This will be effective to January 1, right? It should be retro.
Say again?
I said this will be effective January 1, so it'll be retro, so he can-
This is effective. You saying effective when?
Yeah, it's effective now, but she'll do it in January.
Oh, yes, yes. This is effective for this coaching season, so it will be retro. Board member, we still agreeing with that, right?
Yes.
That this is retro. Okay. This is retro, yes. All right, thank you so much. All right, moving on to number 11. 11A, Ms. Kay Robinson, you wanted to lead that, you asked that be added.
Yes, I think we need to discuss signatures on checks at this point, so we can make sure that if anyone needs, gets sick, is out, that we have signatures so that we can still function as a school system.
All right. I guess I'll say this some time ago. I forgot when it was back in the summer. The question came up about the chairperson of the board signing checks. I know it was raised in a meeting. I don't remember which month. I think it was said that it was, I don't know exactly remember how Attorney Malone addressed it. That it should have came through this standard that the superintendent and the finance officer signed checks. That was what he said in the meeting. As far as, you know, what we had done here in Wellington. And I brought it to his attention, not during that meeting. I found out after the fact, where that may be a standard. And I'm glad you said something about it, Ms. Kay Robinson. All districts in the state, if that is the law, all districts in the state don't operate in that respect. Many districts in the state, the superintendent and the chairperson of the board sign checks. There are other districts where the superintendent, finance officer, and the board chairperson sign checks. And then some districts in the state where the superintendent don't sign checks at all. So I'm glad we're talking about that tonight. And I've shared that with Attorney Malone and shown him the proof of that. So, and I'm not advocating. You said that, Ms. Kay Robinson, you know, we need to have some things in place. However the board wishes to proceed, I think we need to all be together because there are instances where we have to scramble and scrape. And I know the last time, and I'll just say this, it came up when a person was here and they left and we needed to continue with everything moving. And so a former board member was the designee to sign checks. in the respect that they were the chairperson. Well, some board members may not know this, but whoever the elected chairperson of the board is on the list of the bank as a signature. That's in the paperwork. We may not know that. I'm not talking about me, but that's just the required paperwork that the chairperson is signing on behalf of the school district. So that's not uncommon. That's not unnormal. Anytime it comes up, Ms. Campbell gives me the paperwork to sign. So I just want to make that perfectly clear. As far as Weldon is concerned, I know what the quote unquote, as Attorney Malone said, you know, normally finance officer superintendent, but I also made him aware of that. And with you saying that, Ms. K. Robinson, I hope this board will take serious consideration concerning that, even if you, and I don't have to be the chairperson, I'm just saying whoever the chairperson is, that they should be in line to do that. As I said earlier, being chairperson of this board is a privilege, it's not a right. So whoever the chairperson is, I would hope that this board would look at that going forward, that we strongly consider that in that respect. Yes, sir.
Or do you, are people literally signing checks or they stamp?
We have a actual signature that we have to send to digital design that is already in, so as checks run, it's automatically there. In the event that we have an employee to leave, let's say with the school, I automatically take them off those accounts. Right now, for example, at the school, I have a backup. This board is now a backup in the event that the bookkeeper or principal is out, or if a check is written to a principal cannot sign their own check. So she comes over, the bookkeeper will bring it to us to sign. So we have a system, so when somebody leaves, I automatically go to the bank and pull that signature card and take them off. And then when a new person comes, I go back to the bank and redo it again.
That's at the school.
At school, at the central office, currently, Ms. Dameron and myself is on the signature. We have to sign in a little box. And Reverend Sykes done that. We sign in a little box 3 times, and we scan the document and send it to digital design. We have to pay the process to have that signature put on the check. So in the event if I'm out sick, even if I'm out sick, my name can still go on the check from just out sick. Because if I leave, or once we get an interim superintendent or Ms. Dameron say somebody's superintendent, I have to have that person's name, that same process done again. So every time we do it, we pay digital design to change the name on the signature patch.
But if a check is to be caught, just before we have all else, and the check is to be caught, you don't have to be here to go with the check.
No. The account personal payroll can still generate a check, if the individual is not about to call, still generate a check, and it just goes through printed and the signature is already on the check. All our checks are blank. Checks burn up, it doesn't affect anything, there's no signature, somebody breaking the bill, there's no signature on the check, the checks are just completely blank. And once we generate the checks through the AS400 system, it feeds through the printer, print everything, and the signature automatically on again. If we board a check, we cut the signature off, shred it, and write board on the check.
Right.
Right. So yeah, so what the board, the only thing I would say, I don't, not understand what you said. All these players before, I can't talk about what people do.
Right.
And some of those people where they are other points, I get that. But I think that what the statute otherwise clearly shows is that the superintendent and the finance officer required. If you want to add a third signature chair, I mean, that's just up to the board.
Right.
But I don't think that it should be the chair and the finance officer for the chair and the superintendent.
Neither do I.
Those 2 options are.
No. I wouldn't dare suggest
Okay,
that. No, I wouldn't dare suggest that. And the time that it did happen, it only happened because we did not have the second signature in place. But I guess I was saying when we did get the other signature in place, it went on for a long period of time, even when the person was in place. And
And I will say that, you know, we, our involvement with the system over years changed. You know,
Sure.
we're much more involved now than we were whatever years ago. Not only contacted as much, but there are rules about check. And if, for instance, one of the people was not available, I mean, we would have, you should have gone to the treasurer's office to get their permission. They have someone else side.
Sure.
Because it's not just a matter of saying, somebody's moving and swapping it.
Right.
So anyway, so I think that as long as you've got superintendent, on the check.
Correct.
And finance on the check, adding a third thing is totally up to you.
Correct. And I wouldn't dare suggest not having the two said persons. I wouldn't dare suggest that. No, by no uncertain terms, what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't dare suggest that. But as you just said, if a third person was on the, that's totally within the purview of the board. And I just, right, I just said, I think that's something that the board should consider. Not at this meeting. I'm glad she put it up there. I think we should have some conversation about it. Not taking into action tonight, but it's out there. Like we've done other things before, we put it out there. And so that's discussion. So that's something we can take up later. Is that all right? Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Right. All right. We'll move on to B then, if there's no further discussion. The recommended board policies update for 2021, the first read.
I just want to speak to that. You all have received, that was an attachment on your agenda. If not, I will get it to you. The School Board Association met in the fall, and so they recommend any changes that should go with the policies that we have. I took the policies that were sent to me and I divided them up in the respective departments so that they would get an opportunity to review and make sure that the policy that was being sent to us was in fact covering what we do and how we do business. And so you seeing no recommendations from the staff, then you have those policies for your consideration. There is a document that you have that tells what the policy number is, why the School Board Association is recommending that change, and the language that's in the policy if there is a change. Most of them are very minor corrections, but I did not print the list of all the policies because they are numerous. So I printed that page to show you what was being considered, but if there is a specific policy, there is another document the school board sent us, and I can send that to you and you can print those out. But I think it's 4 pages or 3.5 pages of every policy that was reviewed in the fall. They do them twice a year. So you got the fall review now. And if you have no questions, I don't think you all have a policy committee, but if you get an opportunity to look at those and see if you have any questions, not tonight, between now and probably the January meeting, then I'd ask for an approval of those policies.
So they are first reading,
Yes,
and you'll actually attach the actual policy section.
yes, I will. Mhm. And like I said, I'd be happy to forward there's 2 zip drives that contain them all. And I can send that to you individually, or the policies are on our website. Right. So they'll know what the current version says, and then these amendments that the School Board Association is recommending. Yes.
That's the version that can certainly be shared.
Correct. That's right. Correct. And I'm sure you are aware, this is a service that Wellington City School pays for. So once any corrections that you want to make or that they make, they will update them on our website for us for those corrections.
That's a great.
And all the board members know this is a standard first read. If we want to do anything differently, of course, the second read, all of that, we can make modifications if we choose to.
Then you can also change it after you.
Right.
Approve the next one, and then you look at it later, it's like, oh, we should tweak it, you can change it.
Right.
And the camera's right, you then see this notified, Jacqueline, you know, the person school board trustees, and then make that change, and not be legal, and then they keep track of whatever goes to you now.
Right. So with that being said, do we need a motion to approve the first read?
To approve the first read, most people get a motion to approve the first read. What you technically need a motion for that, I don't know.
So what is your record?
Second. Second.
Motion has been moved and properly second to approve the first reading of the recommended policy updates from fall 2021 School Board Association annual conference. Any further discussion on readiness? Hearing none, all in favor, would you let it be known by your voting sign aye?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, nay? Ayes have it, so ordered. All right, thank you so much. Moving on to number 12. Motion is in order to approve action from closed session.
Well, we haven't finished closed session.
Yeah, we can go ahead and approve the personnel report. And we may want, before we go in close, and then we have to add another personnel, and definitely, it's not the consequence that will need, but it will be.
Okay.
And then we go back into open. After
And
that.
then I can open it, and we may need to.
Okay. So I guess the language would be, we need, motion is in order to approve the personnel recommendations or the personnel report as it is at this time.
Right, because we're not changing personnel.
Right.
The issue that we have is not related.
Correct.
I make a motion to approve the personnel report as we have it at this moment.
Motion has been moved and properly seconded to approve the personnel report as we have it at this time, as it was presented to us in closed session. You've heard the motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, would you let it be known by your voting sign of aye? Aye. Any opposers, nay? Ayes have it, so ordered. All right. At this time, we will entertain a motion to go into closed session.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I think we should get a motion to amend the agenda to add an open session for personnel after the closed session.
If needed to.
Well, you're right, we may not need it, we're going to add it,
Okay,
and then that will probably be added it, so they won't, you know, don't have to. So that everybody will add it.
I make,
hold on, just for my clarity. I thought we amended the agenda to add the closed session, and we weren't going to adjourn from open session until after we came back out from closed session.
Correct, but right now, we're doing.
Okay,
When
I got you.
When I dealt with that happened, is for the public not to know that there's a chance that you may take some personnel action when you come up with those.
I got you.
And everybody be surprised if you get that.
Okay, all right, good enough. Ms. Hale,
I make a motion to add open session back on the agenda for personnel.
okay. Motion has been moved and properly second to amend the agenda to add an open session for personnel after we adjourn closed session. You heard that motion. Is there any further discussion on readiness? Hearing none, all in favor of that motion, you let it be known by your voting sign of aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? Ayes have it, so ordered. We will go to- Get a motion for closed session.
I'm looking for going to closed session.
All right. Motion has been moved and properly second to go to closed session, and can I said, according to the general statute, that we always read.
143-318.
Got it. Got it. Is there any further discussion on readiness on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by your voting sign of aye. Opposed to that motion, your voting sign of nay. Let the record reflect unanimous approval to go into closed session. We will be back shortly if you all wish to wait. We hope that you will, but we must retire to closed session. We have come back into open session. So at this time, we'll move forward with the necessary motions.
Yeah, I think the board needs a motion to draft the rest to, similar to the model used by the Warren County School to ask DPI to share them and potential and,
All right.
So moved. Second.
Motion has been moved and properly second to approve a resolution to solidify Ms. Karen Dameron's credentials to serve as interim superintendent. You heard that motion. Is there any unreadiness for further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of that motion, let it be known by the usual sign aye. Aye. Any opposed to that motion? Ayes have it, let the record reflect unanimous approval of the 6 board members present for this vote. All right. Please.
Yes, and I'll send it to the board after the draft, so everybody can look at it.
All right. Yes. And do we need another motion?
Make motion to adjourn.
Second.
Has been motion proper second to adjourn our open session meeting. You heard the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Who was it? Ms. Hale made the motion. And who seconded? Ms. Bird Robinson seconded the motion. All right. All in favor of adjourning, let it be known by voting sign aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay?
You think it's.
Oh, okay. All right. Let the record reflect unanimous approval and the meeting is